DAE laugh when they get a concerned Redditor has reached out message from Reddit? I got one and was combing through my comments trying to find anything I'd said that was controversial enough to warrant it. Lol. I still don't know which comment triggered it. No, it actually bothers me quite a bit. As someone who's struggled with suicidal tendencies, woken up in hospital numerous times, and spent time in a psychiatric ward on suicide watch, the fact that someone would exploit a life-saving resource to bully and hurt the feelings on someone is disgusting behavior, and I automatically assume them to be amongst the worst sorts of individuals. Maybe it being so personal makes my reaction a bit overdramatic, but I'm not even sorry about that in the slightest. A while ago there was a post in DAE about the same thing, where someone went into the ops comments and dug up some really worrying comments about them no longer wanting to be alive. Op then deleted the comments and attempted to gaslight the person who found them, saying they didn't exist, by claiming the person who found them was trying to gaslight Op, and told me I coded an entire fake Reddit website to try and gaslight them when I linked to their comments on Undid. The get them help and support button is either the super down vote or sometimes actually used appropriately and totally lost on those who need it. I was banned once. Stupid reason. Some moderators are like tiny dictators. Apparently they can't handle facts and words from a dictionary, only what they believe be true. It's funny to me. It's their way of throwing a tantrum because they don't agree with you and can't stand the thought of someone being allowed to have their own mind. I got a message about a report I never made. What's that about? I am not a keyboard gangster or someone to go behind someone's back, so no idea how this was me. I've got lots. It's a badge of honor. Means I've proved my point and someone doesn't like my position. However, they can't come up with a counter-argument. Got one after I posted that I didn't want to watch the Dahmer Netflix series because that story terrified me as a kid. Okay, thanks concerned Redditor. It's kinda annoying since it's being misused. It's used as a form of mockery/harassment, because the concerned person doesn't like what you're saying. Happened to me twice in a month right around the time my wife passed away. I'm fine. Sometimes I have a dark humor, but I'm fine really. Someone reported me for self-harm, ingrown hair videos, and am 100% sure they didn't realize I'm the owner of the sub I posted it in. I have been banned on several subs that I have never visited because I am a conservative. How do I send one of those? Edit. NVM. Sorry, you'll probably get one in your inbox. Yeah, I've had it twice. I still have no idea what I said to make them concerned, haha. I was appalled. I only got one, but it was weird and it did not make any sense. No? I guess I'm not concerning enough. Kind of tempted to act out now. Never gotten one, but I have sent a bunch to be annoying. What is stopping you from having the life you want? The fact that choosing how you live is often the same as choosing how you die. Alcohol, sugar, smoking, stress, dangerous jobs, or even natural causes if you decide to be safe and opos. Bukowski said, in short, find what you love and let it kill you. That's actually pretty true. I'm just lucky that my answer isn't a lack of money, food, water, or freedom. At least not yet. Pretty much the same thing as most people lack of money. The life I want is a simple life. I'd like to be able to spend my days in paradise making art or creating content while supporting the work of other creators. I'd like to go grocery shopping and grab things I like from brands I trust without having to worry about blowing my budget. I'd like to be able to explore new interests and interesting parts of the world instead of just fantasizing about it while I work my hands to the bone for meager pay just to survive. What have you done to break the cycle of generational trauma in your family? F. Waited a decade longer to get married. Stayed married. When the babies came along, I took courses and read books about child development and responsible parenting. When I held my son for the first time, I said to myself, it's my turn to be the mom and I'm going to do this differently. Effectively broke the cycle of abuse. I listen to my kids. I make them understand that their feelings are important. I play with them. I give them undivided mom time for on which I do anything they want to do. Roblox? Sure. Watercolors? Absolutely. I have a deep and loving relationship with my kids. They will never be the hollow, malnourished soul of a human I grew up as. Well, for one, I haven't engaged in behaviors that cause trauma in the first place. At least not on purpose. Didn't join the military, and while I drank and partied my way through HS, mostly because my home life was awful, I've been a fairly responsible adult who doesn't smoke or drink regularly. I've never been drunk, except once, and realized it was not as fun as everybody else made it out to be. I've tried to be a better parent than my parents and grandparents. We have also managed to achieve middle-class dom, which was something that was completely out of reach for my grandparents and my parents. Not being poor and worrying about whether or not you can eat or pay bills makes a huge difference. I started going to therapy to work on my self-worth, my anxiety, and my PTSD. And this week, I had a really long and emotional talk with my mother and convinced her to go to therapy as well. I told her how much it was helping me and how it would be healthy for her if she found a safe place with someone qualified to listen to her story and help her make sense of her emotions. I understand that she's used to toughing it out and that she grew up in a time period when mental health was not taken seriously, so I did my best to be reassuring, and she was grateful that I was open and willing to help her overcome that stigma to get her what she needs. What movie from the last 2 decades is a 10/10? My opinion, the whole How to Train Your Dragon series. Never in my life had I been so attached to an animated movie. That is probably because of how I found it and what it means to me, so this is a personal opinion. Dark Knight. Story is self-contained. We all know Batman. There is an appropriate antagonist. Joker masterfully played by Ledger. The cinematography/lighting/script was brilliant. There are plots and twists, and it's infinitely rewatchable. The Lives of Others. Just a phenomenal, gripping, moving film. I also love The Science of Sleep. It's a goofball film but strangely fits any mood you're in, and it's unique. Zodiac and Nightcrawler are also both fantastic. I could sit down any time and watch any one of those and leave the experience completely satisfied, even knowing the endings. The Ring, American version. One of the best horror films ever. Emo. I'm sure someone will chime in that the original Ringu, Japanese version, is better. I'd say they're both 10/10. Happy Halloween. The Lego Movie, I didn't even like Lego but still enjoyed it. Some parts are sad, some are funny, but it doesn't ruin the moment. A lot of references too. The Big Short, I've seen it 7 times and every time I get something new out of it. Absolutely wild though. That went down in the mid-2000s. Memories of Murder from South Korea. There are a large number of amazing South Korean movies these days. There are a lot of 10/10 movies but the one that always comes to my mind is Sicario. It's a masterpiece. I just realized 20 years ago is 2000 and not 1980, and now I'm confused of tomorrow though, really good. Or High Water was great and a perfect encapsulation of the post-recession mood. I just realized that's only back to 2002. I was about to start naming 80s movies. I thought Arrival was 10/10 but I don't think that was the consensus among most people. First, How to Train Your Dragon movie will forever be my favorite. Schindler's List 1993 edit. This is here due to mathematical error. The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Beginning to End Greatness. Warrior, 2011 spoiler https://youtube.b/xwmihu0gk. The Tree of Life, though it's not for the dim-witted. Spotlight is so good, and has so much to say. Hard to say, but I would guess it's Toy Story 3. Weirdly negative of the women in their life. Act like women's lives are easier. Are mean or dismissive to women they're not attracted to, but uncomfortably nice to ones they are. Weirdly, hoards attractive men. Has a complex about his height or some similar feature. Just generally treats women like alien creatures. Jokes about rape and gets offended when told to stop. Gets offended by boundaries in general. Believes false rape accusations are common. Talks excessively about pretty privilege while being weirdly silent about racism, sexism, fishes for physical insults. I'm sure I'm missing some and many of these aren't diagnostic alone, but they're a really good starting place. They have an opinion about everything. Bonus points if they know nothing about it but still try. Anime profile pictures. You're wearing X, name 3 episodes/songs/books/whatever. Random quotes in the middle of a conversation. I mean, like, please don't use a quote from some great philosopher unless you're talking about them. One that is a personal pet peeve is expecting a girl to return affection. And when she doesn't, getting angry because you're entitled to their body and life is so unfair because every girl does this. Literally was seeing a guy casually who got very angry when I declined to be his girlfriend. He knew it was just a hookup but exploded with anger when I didn't want a relationship. It's obvious that most movie producers and directors were incels. They only cast women as prostitutes, strippers or eye candy. If she did have a bigger role, she was required to take her clothes off and or do scenes. And that's just in the movie. Imagine the things they had to do to actually get the part. If the women objected, they were told how easily they were to replace. Men that see women as just a body put here for the male viewing pleasure are creepy, cringe and emo incels. Hollyweird has some real boss men running the show. In the end, it's all for the men in the audience to have a good experience. The women in the audience not so much. So basically they're disrespecting every woman involved. What about asking them what feminism means to them? That might give some good info. And it's a good screening question for early dating app convos, too. I was with a guy for some time who then proceeded to tell me he was turned on by humiliating women in bed. That he liked to go out with women who'd had children because he could make them feel desirable again. So maybe asking them what kind of they like and what turns them on in the bedroom. Maybe asking what happened with exes? If they're all crazy, maybe Hess not able to look at himself? What are his relationships to other women like? Does he have female friends?